Good morning, everybody. Those who are from this side of the world, I know when you're online, you're watched by people from all over the world. So some of you, it's a good morning. Some of you, it's a good afternoon. Some of you, it's a good evening. Some of you, it's at night. How are you? How are you doing wherever you are? How is everything? I know that God has been good to you, just like He has been good to me. I am grateful to God for the opportunity to be here, for the opportunity to be alive, even to be counted, to be among them that will see this beautiful day. From where I am, like you can see, it's a chilly morning. It's a cold morning, but we thank God it has been so hot. You know, the sun has been so hot, and we are grateful to God that now we got some rains, and that's why it's a little bit chilly and a little bit cold, but we thank God. So good morning, my good people. I know you are there. You have woken up well. Today I woke up with you in my mind, and I was literally just thinking about someone, you know, and I was saying, maybe there is something that I can say to encourage somebody as they kickstart their day, or as they see through their afternoon, or as they see through their evening, or as they prepare to go to sleep, because people are watching from different parts of the globe. John Kennedy Munene, good morning. I am happy to see you. And I thought this morning, as I was encouraging myself, I thought, why can't I pass the encouragement to somebody? Because I was thinking about an empty jar. An empty jar, you know, something empty. I wish I had an empty bottle. An empty jar. Like, let me show you my lotion. This is my lotion, the bottle of my lotion. So once this bottle gets finished, I'll just throw it away, because it will become valueless to me. It will have no more use for me. It will become valueless. It will become something that I don't want to keep. I'll just feel I want to throw it in the dustbin. And I thought maybe today, how many of us woke up feeling empty? You know, how many of us woke up feeling, oh my God, I don't feel like there's anything in me. There's anything valuable in me. I don't feel like I even have I have anything in myself to offer to the world. I feel so empty. You know, I'm just as empty as an empty jar. So I'm just there, you know. I can't be of help to anybody. Maybe you're looking at your kids, you're seeing your kids are there. Maybe they have not even gone to school because of lack of school fees. Maybe you're looking around, you're seeing your house, it is not yet paid. You're even afraid that we are approaching end of month, and now you're wondering, how will I even pay my house rent? You know, you're looking around and you're seeing your children there. It is in the morning, it is over lunchtime, it is at night. You cannot give them breakfast, you cannot give them lunch, you cannot give them dinner. You know, like, hopelessness is all around you. When you go to work, you feel like you're not delivering. When you have things or work on your desk to accomplish, you feel like you're not doing it to the best. And now you're wondering, of what use am I? Of what value am I? Maybe you're looking back and you're wondering, by this time in my life, I would have wished to have accomplished 1, 2, 3, 4. By this time in my life, I would have wished to have started this business. By this time in my life, I would have wished to have done this career course. In this time of my life, I would have finished building this house. By this time in my life, I would have bought at least a property under my name. Maybe I should be having a car, even if it's a small car. Maybe I should be having a plot of land that I own, and I can say this piece of land belongs to me. You know, the things happen and they leave us feeling empty. And when you feel empty, you feel valueless, you feel hopeless. And maybe just to touch on something very critical that is happening to us here in Kenya right now, when there is this the demonstration, political demonstrations, and unfortunately we saw some of the businesses being burnt down, we saw some churches being burnt down, and maybe now you're looking around and you're wondering, the church I used to wake up, go for morning glory, go for my service, it's now burnt down. So where should I go? I'm hopeless, I'm empty. Maybe you're looking at your small business, maybe it was burnt down, and you're now wondering, so do I now start from zero? Do I now start from scratch? You are really wondering, where do you start from? I'm here to encourage you as you start your day. There is value in an empty jar. As useless as many people might think it is, when we drink water in a bottle, a plastic bottle or whatever bottle that you have, once you finish taking that water, and once you have taken the last drop, the tendency is we just throw that empty bottle in the dustbin. So there could be maybe chances whereby people have trashed you because they are looking at you and they're wondering, this one, how can we help one another with him or her? This one, how can he be of value to me? This one, what can he add to my life? And maybe some have written you off in their lives. Some have already trashed you. Some have already made conclusion that you're not going to amount to anything. Some have stopped looking forward to anything good coming out of you, because once we finish taking that water in that water bottle, we throw it away. Once we finish taking some juice in a bottle, we throw the bottle away. Once we finish taking anything in a container, once the container is empty, we throw it away. So some of us, maybe it's even you're feeling empty because now people have used you and reused you and reused you, and they have really taken advantage of you. They have really taken all that was in you. They have really, they have used you and taken advantage of you. And the minute they realized now you are empty, the minute they realized now you are as empty as empty, now they trashed you. And you're left there now fighting for your life. You're left there wondering, these people, I spent my money on them. These people, I spent my resources on them. These people, I gave my all to them. These people, I gave everything to them. Elijah is saying, good morning, Elijah, nice to see you. I did my best. I did not even do the business I wanted to do because I was giving to these people. I did not build the house I wanted to build because I was minding about these people. I did not take my kids to the school they deserved to go because I wanted to save a little and help these people. And now the same people are seeing you as an empty container, as an empty vessel. But today, this morning, I have good news for you. I have good news for myself. When you feel empty, there can be something good coming out of you. And just to relate that story to what we are saying, I want us to get a Bible verse. It's good to get a backup from the Word of God. So First Lady Glado today wants to read a Bible verse. Conrad Karume, good morning. How are you? Allow me to put on my glasses so that I can be able to read a Bible verse for you that was encouraging my heart. Everybody deserves to feel happy. And most of this happiness, we draw it when we are in God. Sometimes just grab the Bible, read. Sometimes just get yourself into a closet and pray. Even before you start your day, when you wake up on that bed, whisper to God. He listens. He listens. Don't say, oh, me, I don't know. I can't remember the last day I went to church. Oh, me, I am a sinner. God doesn't mind about me. Oh, me, I am a drunkard. God doesn't mind about me. Oh, me, I don't live straight, so I can't talk to God. God is a father. You don't have to be a pastor. You don't have to be a holy than thou. You don't have to be a saint for you to talk to God. Talk to God wherever, whenever, anytime that you need to talk to God. And one way of talking to God is also through reading his word. He listens to everybody. Don't feel so useless that you're so useless that you cannot even talk to God. God is waiting for you to talk to him. Let me show you how God is waiting for you to talk to him. We are going to get our encouragement today from 2 Kings chapter 4. And it is about the story of how Elisha helps a poor widow. And we know that story. I'm going to go through it very fast. The widow of the member of a group of prophets went to Elisha and said, "Sir, my husband has died. Sir, my husband has died." So there could be somebody who is here and is feeling hopeless and is feeling empty because you are saying, my loved one has died. My loved one has gone to be with the Lord. The person that was so close to me, the person that was my go-to person has gone to a journey that has no return, and you're feeling empty because of that. Sir, my husband has died. As you know, he was a God-fearing man, but now a man he owed money to has come to take away my 2 sons as slaves in payment for my husband's debt. What shall I do for you? He asked. Tell me, what have you got at home? Nothing at all, except a small jar of olive oil, she answered. Okay? Go to your neighbors. This is now the prophet telling the widow. Go to your neighbors and borrow as many empty jars as you can, Elisha told her. Then you and your sons can go into the house, close the door, and start pouring oil into the jars. Set each one aside as soon as it is full. So the woman went into her house with her son, closed the door, took the small jar of olive and poured oil into the jars as her son brought them to her. When they had filled all the jars, she asked if there was any more. That was the last one of her sons answered, and the olive oil stopped flowing. She went back to Elisha, the prophet, who said to her, sell the olive oil and pay all your debts, and there will be enough money left over for you and your sons. The story of the empty jars. Elijah, the servant of God, told this woman, go and borrow empty jars. You know, and I was wondering, why was she instructed to borrow the empty jars? Why empty jars? You know, why the empty jars? Why? Is there any value in empty jar? Can we see any value in an empty jar? You know, and I think, and then the prophet of God was telling, Elisha was telling the widow, borrow as many as possible. Don't borrow few, borrow as many as possible. Empty. Not any of them should come with any content. They should be completely empty. And I thought, when she went to the neighbors must have been so generous giving those jars, you know. And I'm thinking, if somebody maybe visited my house and they said, please, I want all the empty jars, all the empty bottles that you have around, I will get all of them out, because by the end of the day, I need to put them in the trash. I need to trash them. So the neighbors were really giving out. And at times in our lives, there comes to that point when you feel empty, until now people can toss you right, left, center. People can use you however they want. People can take advantage of you in whichever way and in whichever version that they want, because they feel that you are an empty jar. But it is the empty jar that this prophet of God was interested in. I was wondering, why was he not sending this lady to go and get a jar that is half filled, or 3/4 filled, or almost being filled? His interest was empty. So when you're feeling empty, there is still something good that can come out of you. What I love about what we have read today to encourage ourselves is the fact that this woman was given an instruction that once now you get the jar, once you get the jars, you and your sons close yourself into a room and start pouring the oil into the empty jars. That is my exact point of encouragement for us today, including myself. That this woman was not told pour the oil in the open. She was told pour the oil when you are in a closed door with your sons. So what am I saying? When you're at that point of feeling broken, when you're at that point of feeling you have hit a dead end, when you're at that point you're feeling empty, totally empty, good for nothing, you have nothing. Like today, I know most of us now here in my country are wondering, today is Thursday. The Thursday that we know it was announced there shall be a demonstration. So some of us are just in the house. Maybe you're just even watching me in your bed because you're wondering, First Lady Glado, where do I wake up to go? I can't go open my business. I'll be risking because those rioters, I don't know whether they can come and breaking into my business. So I can't go open my business. If I don't open my business, I don't know what I will give my children in the evening. You know, I don't know where I will get the money from. And there is a lot of hopelessness. There's a lot of feeling empty, you know. But Elijah told this woman, go into a closed door with your sons. Whenever you feel so down, whenever you feel so crushed, it's not the time to start running to friends. It's not the time to start calling, texting, and then you get more frustrated because those who are calling, they're not feeling they're not even picking up your calls. Because in the first place, they are thinking, oh, this empty jar is now calling me. Because they are seeing you as an empty jar. You text them, they're not even texting back. They're just blue ticking you because they're like, oh, this one is just a stubborn somebody disturbing my life. You know, no. Go somewhere in a closet. Go somewhere in a closet and start talking to God and start doing the business of rejuvenating yourself, of encouraging yourself, of going back to the time that you once did something that you are proud of. Because sometimes you are able to bounce back because you can go back and remember, oh my God, you know, if I did that business the way I did it back then, I believe I can do it this way. You know, if I did this back then, even now I can do this. You know, if I bounced back then, even now I can bounce back. If God came through for me back then, even now I have faith God will come through for me. Sometimes you need to refer back to what happened, the successful stories that happened to you in the past. You know, that success story. Like for me, anytime that I go through a very tough period, my point of encouragement, I always say, the time that I saw God with my two eyes is when God enabled me to go back to high school after being a school dropout for 7 good years. 7 good years I've stayed at home. 7 good years I have worked as a house girl, part of it. Within the 7 years I have worked as a mama mboga, you know, selling skuma wiki and cutting skuma for people, you know, selling the small groceries to people. You know, within the 7 years, I had seen myself getting married to the wrong person. Thank God, the marriage ended and I was left whole and alive. 7 years, I saw myself get a baby in that marriage. And 26 years of age, I was feeling broken. I was feeling empty. I was feeling like I don't have nothing to offer to this world. But I went to a closet like this woman was sent to, a closet with her sons. And I told God, even if I am 26 years old, Even if I have a breastfeeding baby, me, I have faith. I can still go back to school. I feel what I can do right now to take away the emptiness that I am experiencing is going back to school. And I told God, please God, open a door for me to go back to school. And that time, I was selling the groceries, Skuma Wiki. Actually, that time my name was Mama Mboga. From a house girl, I started from a house girl, a title of a house girl. So I worked as a house girl for 2 good years. Then from a house girl, I graduated to Mama Chakula, you know, the ladies who cook food for kids in the school. So Madewa Food. I graduated to being Madewa Food. After graduating to being Madewa Food, cooking food in a primary school nearby our place, I graduated to being Mama Mboga. And I started selling Sukuma Wiki to people. But the more I sold the Sukuma Wiki, the more I worked as a house girl, the more I worked as a Madewa Food, the more my heart was so empty. I was feeling empty because I was now feeling the life I'm living is not what I want. The life I am living is not what I want. That's why I'm feeling empty. I'm feeling empty because the life I'm living is absolutely not what I want. And some of the people out there, you are feeling empty not because you lack money, not because you lack education, not because you don't have a house to live in, not because you don't have food, you know, not because you don't have a job. You are actually feeling empty because the life you're living right now, Jemo Smith, the life you're living right now, Edwin Jugona, good morning, Jemo. The life that you're living right now is not the perfect design of how you would want your life to be. Maybe you're in the company that leads you to live a life that makes you not feel so proud of yourself. Maybe you don't love drinking, but because your friends drink, you move along with them. You are from one club to another, you're drinking. When you go back home, you're like, why? But why did I even drink? I'm not feeling good in this lifestyle. You know, you're living a lifestyle that you're not happy about. Maybe if it is us ladies, you are in a group of women who, when they sit down, they're just talking about this one, talking about this one, talking about, you know, gossiping and backbiting and all that. But when you're alone, you feel, oh, yes, we have talked about so and so. Yes, we have talked about so and so. But I'm not happy. That's not the lifestyle I want. So it makes you feel empty. So when you feel empty, just check into yourself. What is making you feel empty? This woman that you have read from the Bible, the widow in the Zarephath, was feeling empty because she went to Elisha and she was telling Elisha, my husband has died. So the emptiness in her is because my husband has died. My loved one has died. Because if I think according to her, she was feeling, if my husband was alive, then he would have sorted out these people that they owe money. You know, they owe money. Huh? John Kennedy anasema, what a testimony. Yeah, thank you. I'm coming back to it. I'm coming back to it. So the emptiness in this woman was because my husband has died. And the man we owed money is on my neck, has come to take my 2 sons to go with them as slaves. That was what was causing the emptiness. My sister Naomi Kabiri, good morning. Uko kwenye ni saa ngapi? I think it should be maybe at night. You know, so evaluate and know what is causing the emptiness. When I evaluated my life, I knew working as a house girl for 2 years was making me feel empty. Actually, it was making me feel so empty to a point whereby now when I'm with my fellow youth, even when I go to church, like in our church, we would be told to stand up and greet people. Virginia Tash, good morning. Thank you for tuning in. You know, so everybody would wake up and say, praise God, my name is so and so, and I am in this university, I am studying this, or I'm working in this and this company. When it came to my turn, now what was contributing to me feeling the emptiness? When it came to my turn, I had nothing to say. So because I cannot stand up and say, praise God, my name is Gladys and I am a house girl. I cannot say that, remember. I cannot say that. Because how can I be proud calling myself a house girl? But that's who I was that time. So I would wake up and say, praise God, my name is Gladys and I love Jesus. And then I would sit down. When I sit down, I would say a silent prayer before God. I would tell God, oh God, I pray one day give me something that I can say. After saying my name, I can say I am Gladys and I do this and this. Now Mikabiri anasema, good morning sister, it's 8:20 p.m. Oh yeah, 8:20. So najua mnakula dinner. Unihesabu kwa dinner yenyu. I'm gonna come and take dinner with you. So Naomi knows my story. Is my sweet sister living in the US. She knows my story because at some point we were in the same primary school. And I love her so much. She's a sweet lady. So, the emptiness of standing up to say that I was a house girl. And I would pray, God, one day, please, give me something. After I say my name is Gladys, I need to be able to say something else about what I do. I don't even have a high school certificate. God, please. So I was saying sometimes to counter the emptiness that you feel in you, it's good to refer back to when God came through for you. Jackie Mark, oh my auntie Jackie Mark, good evening. Uko kwenye najua ni good evening Jackie Mark. How are you auntie? Nice to see you. So it's good to refer back to when God came through for you. Like for me, that emptiness of being a house girl, emptiness of being mama food. You can imagine I was a small girl. I was a very tiny small girl. And then the kids in school, they can't differentiate. Mimi si madhe. Me si madhe. Mi ni kadem. But they're all over running. Saying, madhe wa food. Niongezee food. And I'm like, oh yeah. The lady we were working was a madhe, so it was okay for her to be called madhe. Me, I'm a little tiny girl. They are calling me an old woman because they didn't know how else to call me. The people who cook in school, they are called madhe wa food, And then now from there, I graduate to being a mama mboga. So everybody's like, madhe nikatie skuma za 20 bob. Madhe nikatie skuma za 30 bob. Madhe nikatakatie waru. Madhe niekee kitunguu. I had to do that by then because that was the survival tactic. But as Elisha in this story told this woman, go into a closed door with your son and start pouring the oil. And she kept pouring the oil, one jar after the other. And as she kept pouring this oil, the jars were getting filled. They were getting filled to the last one. And she remember the instruction she was told, borrow as many. So she had too many, in a closed door. Some things you have to do them in a closed door. Some prayers, you have to go to your bedroom, go to your room, even sometimes go to that toilet. Sometimes you're in the office. You feel broken, you feel crushed. Me, not once, not twice, I've gone to the washroom, the office washroom, and knelt there and cried to God. People are thinking I'm in the washroom because I'm helping myself. But me, I'm not in the washroom to helping myself. I'm in the washroom kneeling down, talking to God. Because that's the only closed door that I can access within the office, maybe. And and I'm telling God, please, 1, 2, 3, do this and this and this and this, that for me. So God did come through for me. God came through for me. When I prayed that prayer, God came through for me. And at the age of 26 years old, as a breastfeeding mother, and that back then as a wife of that marriage that failed. So I had an interesting combination. I am a wife in a toxic marriage. So you can imagine the stress in a toxic marriage. The people who have been in a toxic marriage can attest to it. I was a wife in a toxic marriage. I am a mother of a breastfeeding baby, a little tiny breastfeeding baby. I am 26 years old. So as per my age, I should be a working class woman. I should be working. I should be earning. But now here the emptiness is. At 26 years old, instead of myself being there to go and work, because a 26-year-old person has already even graduated from the university. You get me? The emptiness now is me at 26 years old is when I'm chasing after high school. Is when I'm trusting God to open a door for me to go back to Form 2. Form 2 at 26 years old. That was the most challenging part in my life. The most challenging part in my life. I've been out of school for 7 years. I have worked as a house girl. I've worked as a cook in a school. I have worked as a mama mboga. I have been in a toxic marriage. I was full of all kind and all sorts and all manner of emptiness. But I pulled myself up. And I said, even at 26 years old, I can go back to high school. Are they offering me a chance in Form 2? I will sit down in that class. Imagine, I was age mate with my teachers. I was the only student who was age mate with my teachers because some of my teachers were in their 20s, 26. So I was age mate with teachers. But I said, I'm going to humble myself. Sit down in that class. In the morning, I will wake up, breastfeed my baby. And leave her there and go to class. In the evening, I will come back with my teacher's assignment. I will breastfeed my baby with my left hand. The right hand will be on the table, writing the assignment. And this is why we see Elijah is asking this woman, what can I do for you? What do you have? Because you could be empty, but trust you me, there is something that you have. You cannot be empty that you don't have anything. Even if you feel crushed, even if you feel broken, just go back to that closet, to that closed door. Ask yourself, even if I feel all is gone with the wind, even if I feel it is all lost, what is that one thing left in me? Because when I felt all was gone with the wind, the only thing I felt was left in me was this little strength to think, despite of my age, I can still go back to high school. And that's why you see Elisha was asking this woman, so what do you have? And then the woman, I love what the woman said. You know, the woman said, I have got some little oil remaining. Mark the word, little. I have got some little oil remaining. And what she said she had is what the prophet of God used as a source of her blessings. So, what is that little that you have? Yes, you're now no longer working as an accountant. Yes, now you're no longer working as that manager. Yes, now you're no longer working as that supervisor. You know, you're not now in that big position. Yes, your business after COVID, your business came down. You know, yes, things are falling apart. Yes, your marriage has fallen apart. And I never wish anybody's marriage to go down because it's the most painful thing. My marriage broke up, but it is the most painful thing that I don't want even to wish my enemy. If you're in a marriage, keep your marriage. Watch on your family. Pray over your family. But then don't stay in a toxic marriage and then we end up reading you on the newspaper you are dead. So, in that emptiness, in that state of emptiness, there is still something remaining in you. Like this woman said, I have little oil remaining. And when the man of God prayed for the little oil remaining, she kept pouring for the oils, kept pouring, and the oil kept multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. And then the last thing that I need to say as I say goodbye, so that we can all kickstart our day. It's early morning here. Learn to go in a closed door with yourself. Learn to have a meeting, an executive meeting, sit down with yourself, where you lock out the entire world, where you lock out everybody, listen only to God, where it's only you and you and you, evaluating yourself. Yes, I feel like I have lost it all. Yes, I feel like all is gone with the wind. Yes, after losing my loved one that I was going to, that was my support system, that was so close and so dear to my heart, I feel empty. But now where do I start? Sometimes you will need to take yourself somewhere away from the crowd, away from the people, away from the world. Be somewhere alone so that you can rejuvenate, restart, and re-energize. When you keep staying out there, because ask yourself, why was this widow of Zarephath asked to go and fill the jars in a closed door with her sons? Why was she not told to go do it by the roadside? Go do it by the place where you sit down with your friends. Go do it where everybody can see. You know, she was told in a closed door with your sons. Is a family matter, is a family affair, is a private matter. You know, with yourself and yourself alone. Because at times we prolong the emptiness because of bringing everybody on board. We prolong the emptiness because we are feeling empty, but we still are carrying so many people on our back. So we don't even have a time to sit and rejuvenate. We don't have even a space to just re-energize, you know, because you're carrying the whole world on your back. Drop everybody else. Go into a closet with yourself. Talk to yourself. Evaluate yourself. Ask yourself, what do I have to kickstart? Even if you have to start small, even if the business was too big, you had a big shop, but now you can only start with a small shop. Start from there. Because the woman was asked, what do you have? She said, little oil is remaining. That little money that is remaining with you is a small capital for a small business. Start from there. That job opportunity you are despising, you don't want to take it because as per your status, as per your education, you cannot take it. Take it for now. Let it be your springboard. Let it be your rejuvenation point. You will not forever be there. You'll work there for just for some time, and then you get a job that fits your profile. So, please, when you feel empty, re-energize in a closed door, where you shall re-evaluate yourself and know, so what is in me that can be of help to myself? What is that little oil in me that is remaining that can help me? And then always refer back. Always refer back to that time you felt God came through in a big way. You know, you said God came through big time in a big way. Refer back then. Me, I keep referring back to when God enabled me to go back to high school. And whenever I talk, most people who have been following me, they know I talk so much about how I went back to high school after dropping out of school for 7 years. Because that time, you know, God came real. You know, God came himself. You know, God showed himself to me in his reality. How can I go back to school after 7 years of being out of school? And then in that school, God blesses me to be a performer. That from the onset in the class that I was put in. And mark you, when I was being admitted in that school, trust you me, they did not even give me the interview. Because the principal back then, a very beautiful, wonderful lady called Madam Lucy Mwangi, and may her soul rest in peace. I love her so much. She told me, Gladys, I'm not going to give you interview because it will be a waste of my papers. You cannot remember anything after 7 years of being out of school. But then after those 7 years of being out of school, I sit in a class. I dedicate myself to the books. And from the onset until I finished my high school, I was becoming position 2 in my class. How? How do you explain that? That's why I tell you, I keep referring to that victory God gave me back then. I keep referring to that. How do you become position 2? In a class where you are age mate with the teachers, you are 26 years old. You are learning with kids who are 15, 16 years. You become position 2 all the way until you finish form 4. How? It's only God who can explain that. I had only saved 12,000 shillings. That's what I used to go back to high school. 12,000 shillings for the sake of my sisters and my brothers who are in the US. Naomi Kabiri and my sister Jackie Mark and others who are in the US. 12,000 shillings is an equivalent of $120. So I have worked myself out the entire year. I've saved 120 years. I've used the $120 to go buy uniform, buy books, and pay the little school fees because it was a day school, so it was not very expensive. The money got finished. But I said, I just want to be in that school. After that, even if I'll be giving excuses so that I'm not chased away from school, at least I will remain in school. You see that concept? Only with $120, 12,000 Kenya shillings. As this woman told the prophet, I have little oil. Me, I only had 12,000 Kenya shillings, $120. It is the little money that I took and carried myself to that school and told God, when I'm in that school now, you'll know what to do with me. So how do I have that? How do you explain? You have $120 and then God comes through for you until you finish school. All school fees paid by well-wishers, all books bought, everything done for you. How do you explain that? I can only go back to that victory. Remember, if God came through for me that way, oh my God, even now he can come through for me. I remember when now I entered Form 3 and we were doing a praise giving in our school. I have a certificate. I wish I would have removed it from my file. A certificate being awarded the most disciplined girl. You know, the oldest student, the mother, the wife, everybody in me was awarded the most disciplined girl. So how do I get awarded as the most disciplined girl? I'm the oldest. My combination is not the most interesting one. And then now we sit for our Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, KCSE. And then I pass. I get a grade B. My God, how do I explain that? After 7 years of being out of school, and now here I am with my grade B. How do I explain that? I can only go back to that victory, use it as my springboard, use it as my source of rejuvenating myself, and tell myself, if God did it back then, he can do it even right now. After getting a grade B, how do you explain that God blessed this lady to go to university? Somebody who was working as a house girl now is on her way to the university. And then I don't even have money to go to the university. And then from nowhere, somebody feels the burden. No. I can take you to a radio station and we appeal to the listeners to contribute for you, to fundraise for you. And then I'm taken to a radio station. And then the listeners, God touches them. They contribute and contributed for me. Me, to join campus. People did an on-air fundraising for me. People I don't know. People I cannot see because they were only listening to me. It was a radio station. Contributed for me. That's why today I help people I don't know. That is why today I have the 3 girls, the 3 beautiful girls that I rescued from Korogocho slums, to stay in my house, even if I don't know them, even if we are not from the same ethnic group, even if we don't talk the same language, even if I don't need to know much about them. I just need to help them, let them stay in my house, eat, go to school, grow, and be what God wanted them to be. Because even me, the listeners who listened to me on radio and sent their contribution for me to go to campus, they did not see me. They were only hearing me. They did not know much about me, but they helped me. So that I wind up. If you can go back to one thing that God did at one time in your life, it will sweep away. It will sweep away that emptiness you're feeling. But the devil is so cunning and is a liar and is defeated in Jesus' name. Because now the devil comes in and starts telling you, oh, God has forgotten you. Oh, God does not even remember you. Oh, God does not even know that you exist. Oh, God has nothing to do with you. It is all gone with the wind. It is not. Remember that one thing that God did for you at that time you were so down and you bounced back. And use that one thing as a source of encouragement for you to fill the empty jars. And as I finish, I want to tell you one thing, one story. At times in our lives, we feel so useless, so valueless, we are good for nothing. But there's this famous story people give of how the grandmother was teaching this lady, this girl, to sort out the beans so that they can be ready for cooking. And as they are sorting them out, they are removing the spoilt ones, the bad ones, the ones that cannot be cooked. And those bad ones, she was picking them and throwing them in the kitchen garden. But with time, they realized that the ones that were thrown there started sprouting, started germinating, started growing, and they became the harvest for the following season. What am I saying? You could be like that, those beans that were being thrown in the kitchen garden because they are not good for that, for the cooking. But the next season you could be growing, you could be the one enjoying the harvest. So don't give up. To wrap it all, don't give up. Don't you dare give up. God loves you. God cares for you. God has a way of using the empty jars. And God is going to make your life restart. God is going to jumpstart your life. God is going to give you a fresh start. Just raise up, go shower, feel good about yourself, go into a closet. Now learn the art of being alone in a closet, where you stop everybody else in the world and it is you and you and you and yourself and your God. After you talk to God, ask God, so what do I do? Because now we see this widow of Zarephath. After now all the jars were filled, the jars were too many. After she has filled the jars with the oil, now the prophet gives the final instruction: go sell the oil, and once you sell the oil, you shall have enough money for yourself and for your sons. So the little that you feel remaining in you, there is something good that can come out of it. Like in my case, I've given my story. The little energy that was remaining in me to pull or drag my feet all the way to a high school is all that I had that time, and is all that God used to wipe away the emptiness of feeling I have not done my education. I am a school dropout. That little money that I saved, 12,000 Kenya shillings, 120 US dollars, is all God needed to use. I dragged myself with the little money. I carried myself and dragged my feet with my little money to high school, and I said, here I have come. I have the uniform, I have the books, I have paid the school fees for this term. I knew nobody knows that I don't have the school fees for the next term. It's only God who knows that I don't have. And I kept quiet and I said, before they know that I don't have money for the next term, God will have sent me help. And I sat there, and for sure God sent me help until I finished my KCSE. So God bless you so much. I hope you felt encouraged. I hope now you don't feel like you're an empty jar, because God can rejuvenate you. God can do wonders with your life. God can make you into something big and better. Look at me today. I'm telling you now. Now I don't only say my name is Gladys. Now I can say my name is Gladys. I'm a graduate from the University of Nairobi. I did social sciences. I did a double major in social sciences. I did sociology and peace studies. Later, I also did monitoring and evaluation. Later, I can say I did this. Later, I did this. You know, now I have a story I can tell. Out of the little energy that I dragged myself to go to school, out of the little money I used to say, even if this is $120, even if this is 12,000 shillings, I will go pay the school. The next time I will wait in faith, by faith, God to come through. And I'm done. And I hope you're encouraged. I hope now you'll start your day encouraged. If you're in the afternoon, carry your afternoon with that encouragement. If you are in the night, sleep with that encouragement. Have a beautiful, beautiful night, a sweet sleep, knowing that tomorrow you're going to wake up as an energized vessel. If it's the evening, go and have a coffee date with yourself, you and yourself alone. Yeah, we have said we go to our closet. That time when I was going back to high school, I closed out the entire world, because if I brought them along, they would have started discouraging me, telling me, oh Gladys, have you forgotten you are 26 years old? Oh Gladys, have you forgotten you have a small baby? Oh Gladys, have you forgotten you have a husband? Oh Gladys, I shut the world out so that I can focus, concentrate, and go for that which is to restart my life. So God bless you so much. John Kennedy Monene is saying God is faithful. Yes, Kennedy, God is really faithful. And then he is also saying, God bless you, First Lady Glado. May his hand be with you, watch over you, and enlarge your territories. And then he has given me a Bible verse to read. That is 1 Chronicles chapter 4 verse 10. I will read it. Thank you. And may the same blessings flow in your life. God bless you. God bless you. I love you so much. And may you go there, prosper, increase, re-energize, and restart your life in a bigger way. I wish you God's blessings in all that you do. I love you guys. Mwah. See you. And let's keep it here at Touching Lives Through Love. Keep it here at Touching Lives Through Love. Thank you for being part of our family. Thank you for subscribing. Those who have subscribed, I'm happy, I'm grateful, I appreciate. God bless you. Those who have not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit also that notification bell so that anytime there's a new video like this one, you can be able to be the first person to be notified. Like our video so that it can be recommended by YouTube to be watched by many people. Comment. Okay? Whenever I read your comments, I feel good, I feel blessed. So God bless you, and let's keep it here at Touching Lives Through Love.